you think Donald Trump can do that? Do you think Donald Trump has ever even changed a tire in his life?
Do we need a president who's a small engine guy? No, we don't. Okay, bye. Have fun. What's that? You'll be back at 9:30. Have fun.
She did not pretend to work at McDonald's when it was closed.
He's literally attacking Donald Trump because Donald Trump didn't really get a real job at McDonald's and really work at McDonald's the other day. Toxic. What's up, Toxic? Oh, look, a conservative without a title like Biden is. What conservatives would have a title that says Biden is winning? That's not a conservative, if you ask me.
YMCA. Can you imagine if
So that's all they've got, huh? That's all they've got against Trump is that he was acting weird at a rally. He does long speeches and he sells stuff. Wow, that's really great presidential campaign and really a great presidential idea. Good idea for a president. The fake house show. Dude, first of all, he's not a conservative. He's a liberal or a leftist or both or a progressive or whatever you want to call it.
On the other hand, have you seen Mr. Trump lately? He's out there he'll give like 2.5 hour speeches. Just a word salad. You don't know what the heck he's saying.
That's just not true. We literally just watched a 2-hour Trump rally and it made perfect sense exactly what he was saying the entire time. Share Ponage, guests in the house along with Toxic. What's up, guys? Good evening, Patriots. The Guardian BS fake October surprise failed. People look into the story have found the footage of Biden acting creep around kids. What's the Guardian? What's the Guardian BS? I heard there was some big story that dropped. I'm tuned out. Oh, this? Donald Trump groped me in what felt like a twisted game with Jeffrey Epstein. Stacy, you're home away from home. Love, Donald. Stacey Williams says the ex-president whose spokesperson denied the allegations touched her in an unwanted sexual way in 1993 after Epstein introduced him. Do they really think this is going to work? Can they possibly actually think? Can they actually possibly think that this is going to work and that this is going to save the campaign for Kamala? Could they possibly really think that? Eric, what's up, Eric? Hey, lecture, where's the gaming stream? Eric, we're a week and a half out from the election, my man. Only took her 32 years to come forward and she has no proof, no timeline, no evidence. I believe it. I don't give that thing a snowball's chance in hell.
Is why anybody would think that Donald Trump will shake things up in a way that is good for you.
Yeah, Obama. We think that because when Donald Trump was president for 4 years, he shook things up. I'm trying to get a couple of clips up here, guys, from last night's stream. Man, dude, it takes so long to do clips. I literally worked on clips for like a half hour straight of hard focused clip making this morning, like when I first woke up, the half hour. Dude, it was not easy.
I miss you too, but hold on. We can catch up later. As a country,
kind of sounds like he wants. Yo, Han, I heard Trump was getting handsy with a minor and dropping slurs. What next? What next, Han Fixer? Donald Trump is Hitler. Dude, he's already been president. He's a great president. He has good policies. We want his policies. We don't believe every attack you've ever leveled against Trump has been false. Why would we believe this one? That's my question. For 10 years, you've lodged 1,000 attacks against Trump. They've all been false lies. Why would we believe this one? That would be my question. Sorry, guys. Reading a little Twitter there. What's up? What's up? Also, my blood is still boiling from Obama's speech yesterday. Oh, I know. This is difficult. Even doing clips is difficult. Oh, I know, Altair. I agree, Altair. He comes across as so personable and such a nice guy, and just so genuine. And it's like Moon Reaper, I'm sick watching you. Wait, what? How? Why? Harris has gone from joy to fear-mongering, clearly. Harris, same gal who has a real criminal stumping for her, Bill Clinton, who has friends with Epstein until his death. Harris is now young Bill Gates supports her. Yeah, you have another one of Epstein's friends come out and give you cash. Lecture, who gets you enraged more, Obama or Harris? Obama. Obama by far. Oh, Gwen Walls was supposed to go on late-night talk shows, a media blitz. All the appearances were canceled. Is that right? Holy cow. Dude, so much crazy stuff is happening. I don't think any of it matters, dude. I don't think really anybody's paying attention all that much. I really don't think people are all paying much attention here. You guys think I'm wrong on that?
Here in Detroit, early in-person voting has already started. If you are not registered, you can do it right before you vote at any early voting site. Early in-person voting.
Boo. I agree, Eric. Boo. Boo.
Begins all across Michigan on October 26th.
Good clip. Good clip. PM. What's up, PM? Good to see you. Yes, her mouth is a liability. People call it 100 times worse compared to Dr. Jill Biden. Doctor. Wow, man.
But it is worth repeating.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Now, I heard there was another rally here on Friday night.
Oh, yeah, it's so obvious. He really wants another shadow administration. Oh, you can tell he really, really wants Kamala Harris to win so that he can have another administration just like he's had for the last 4 years under Biden.
But it was a little smaller than...
A lot of these clips are me just like pointing out good comments from chat. Dude, how the heck did Michigan ever like Gretchen Whitmer as their governor? Seriously.
Woman president on the people.
The people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known.
Yo, American Patriot with the primer for 54 months. Thank you, American Patriot. You the man, you the man.
Single day and all the opportunities that...
You know that I just got the word that Barack Obama is on the ground. He's heading right here, right now. He's heading right here, right now. Got the word that Barack Obama is on the ground. He's heading right here, right now.
Let's see. What did I miss in the news today? Oh, wow. Is Trump doing a rally right now?
Happened before.
Trump is live right now.
But I will never apologize for defending America. I'm not going to do it. I will protect our workers. I will protect our jobs. I will protect our borders. I will protect our families. And I will protect the birthright of our children to live in the richest and most powerful nation on the face of the earth. And that's what we're going to have. Under Kamala, you know, this crazy Kamala thing is just crazy. First of all, you can't call her Harris because nobody knows who the hell you're talking about. If I say to the legendary Marjorie Taylor Greene, Harris, I say, what do you think of the job Harris is doing? She'll say, who the hell is Harris? Nobody knows. No, it's the truth. Nobody knows.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer Wednesday played down allegations made by Trump's team of blatant foreign interference by his Labour Party in the U.S. election, saying it was normal for its volunteers to campaign. I've never heard of that. I've never heard that. I've never heard of like foreign political parties sending campaign volunteers to American elections. No, that's not normal.
Losing their jobs, they can't afford housing, groceries, or a car, and yet Kamala is importing millions of illegals across our borders and giving them taxpayer benefits at your expense. And putting them into luxury hotels in New York and Chicago and Los Angeles, while our veterans are sleeping outside of that hotel on the street. So you are witnessing the economic oppression of Americans to reward and enrich illegal aliens. But all of that stops 2 weeks from now. For 4 straight years, Kamala Harris has imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world.
Wow, this is good news. Tesla surprises Wall Street with strong third quarter results. The electric car maker's profit rose 17% on strong sales and higher regulatory credit revenue. Tesla reported surprisingly strong earnings in the third quarter, helping the electric car maker regain momentum after a tumultuous start to the year in which its profit fell for 2 straight quarters. Net income was $2.2 billion for the July to September period, a 17% increase from a year earlier, and lifted in large part by higher sales of regulatory credits to other automakers and the strength of Tesla's energy business. Tesla's energy business. Tesla shifts battery strategy as it seeks U.S. tax credits. Climate laws accelerated race to make batteries and their ingredients in the U.S. Tesla CEO Elon Musk speaking during the opening of the company's factory outside Berlin this year. Tesla is pausing its plans to make battery cells in Germany as it looks at qualifying for U.S. electric vehicle and battery manufacturing tax credits. Tesla is pausing plans to make battery cells in Germany. The company, which has been working to produce its own batteries, has discussed shipping cell-making equipment it had intended to use at its Berlin area factory to the U.S. Making more batteries domestically could help Tesla qualify for additional tax breaks available under the Inflation Reduction Act, which President Biden signed. Production tax credits that could offset a third of the cost of EV battery packs, as long as the rechargeable cells are made and packaged in the U.S. It extends the $7,500 tax credit available to buyers of EVs whose batteries meet various sourcing requirements. Tesla's move reflects how the new U.S. law is reshaping the EV industry, accelerating the race to secure domestic supplies of battery cells. Huh. Wow, well, good for Tesla, huh? Good for Tesla.
From Venezuela to the Congo. You know, the Congo's a hot country.
I'm thinking of being a poll watcher. You should, PM. You should. Protect the vote, election integrity training, sign up. Dude, awesome. You should. You should, PM. I am going to be involved. I'm going to be involved with the election on election day and potentially after the election day. I really can't say too much about it, but I definitely will be involved. Not being a poll watcher per se, PM, but something along the similar lines, but obviously from a different perspective. But yeah, no, I think you should do that, PM. That's very cool. Biden did say lock him up in New Hampshire on Monday. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I guess. Ridiculous, right?
What did the president mean when he said last night about Donald Trump, we got to lock him up?
So look, the president spoke about this very clearly as well in his statement, and he.
Yeah, he did very clearly say, yeah, I want to lock Trump up. I want to throw him in prison because he's my political opponent. Yeah, Biden has been very clear in that in both his words and his actions.
He said he meant lock him out politically. Politically lock him out. That's what he said, and that's what we have to do. That was.
That's not what he said. That is a lie. That's not what he said. That's a straight up lie.
The part of his quote that he said last night while he was in New Hampshire. Look, let's not forget, this is a president that has never shied away from being very clear and laying down what.
Ooh, good question. Good question, American Patriot. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it, American Patriot, for a number of different reasons. But generally speaking, I try not to talk about anything on Twitch that's like related to like anything I do with my work or in my personal life or anything like that. You know, just as a general rule. It could potentially come out public at some point, but anyway, the whole, but I mean, American Patriot, I mean, I'm actively involved, American Patriot, in my real life in my real name, you know, not as LCTRfan. Like I'm the elected precinct captain for the Republican Party in my precinct. I'm actually on the state Republican Party Central Committee. I'm Yellowstone County's state committee man. I'm a voting delegate at the Montana Republican Party state platform convention. I attended the platform convention, was a voting delegate. I was the attorney that represented the Montana Secretary of State in a voter ID lawsuit in Montana. Not the attorney. I was one attorney on the case. not the senior attorney or anything like that. I was like the junior attorney on the case, but I still like tried the case. I had witnesses at trial and everything on a voter ID lawsuit that was Democrats filed in Montana. I've done speaking engagements at like Republican Party events. I moderated the congressional candidates forum for my congressional race, in my district. Thank you for the follow. I did a fireside chat with Tim Sheehy at a big event here in Billings, U.S. Senate candidate, Navy SEAL veteran Tim Sheehy. So like, I do a lot, American Patriot, in my real life as myself, and that's just some of it. I'm just barely listing off some of the things that I do as in my real name, you know, not even as LCTRfan. I don't put any of this stuff online. It's like I do all that stuff. In addition to my actual day job of literally practicing law, representing clients in court and litigation, you know, all day long, plus streaming and making YouTube videos and everything else.
What is at stake in this election? I'm going to be really mindful and not speaking about 2024 election. That's just less than 2 weeks.
By the way, Detoxy, let's go, Brandon. I agree, Detoxy. I agree.
Away, but this is just speaking to what the president said last night. He made very clear yesterday that he was referring to defeating
Mushroom Party. What's up, Mushroom Party? Busy, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, in some ways, Mushroom Party, and in other ways, it's like not really all that busy. You know, I work 50 hours a week at my regular job, and then all that other stuff I do is like, you know, one meeting a month type of thing. It's like no big deal. And then Twitch and streaming and YouTube is just kind of like my fun hobby. So really not that busy. But when I say it all like that, it kind of sounded that way, I'm sure.
To defeating Donald Trump. That is what he was talking about. He said politically lock him out.
Nice. Oh, nice. Thank you, Guess. Oh, nice. You even got the good portrait version. Let's see how my real time. Oh, wow. Holy cow, look at that. Can you guys see that? Look at that. I was literally getting like 100 views like 100 views an hour, and then I put up all of those shorts and boom, over 4,000 views. Man. Oh man, it's these Obama ones. That are cranking. Yeah, it's all these Obama ones. That's hilarious. Holy cow, man. Wow, it's still cranking too. Wow. Those clips are killing it, man. That's a lot of views in an hour. 4,000 views. No tax on overtime will help me a lot. Heck yeah. I feel like Biden is becoming a more likable person now that he has no political motives to be the fake he has been. Oh, sorry. I was having a hard time processing what you said there for a second. 1927 ethos. Yes, I agree. That's always the case. 1927. The same thing happened with DeSantis. Remember when Ron DeSantis dropped out of the presidential race and then he went on TV the next day and did an interview and he was like this totally different person, this wonderful, back to being the regular old lovable Ron DeSantis, fantastic guy. Same with Joe Biden. He drops out and all of a sudden he's back to being himself. He's likable again. It happens all the time. It's crazy.
Out, that is what he was referring to.
Well, he first said twice, lock him up. So you're saying when he said lock him up, he meant to.
Well, it's not what I'm saying. It's what he said. He said to the audience, right, exactly. He clarified himself. He wanted to make sure that things were put into context. He wanted to make sure that while not just New Hampshire folks that were there were going to see it, but also the Americans who are watching and pay attention to what the president is saying. He wanted to put it into context, and he himself, this is not me, this is the president himself going back to explain to say that he was talking about politically.
What a bunch of BS. Holy cow, dude. I'm getting freaking comments like crazy on that. Let's finish up
now
this.
For us, they're sending us their prisoners by the thousands. All over the world, they're coming in. From the Middle East, they're coming in. Their prisons are being opened. Venezuela, their prisons. I would do the same thing. I would do it.
I don't know. I've heard so many of these Trump things. It's like, yeah, I love Trump, but like at the same time, I've heard that 1,000 times, you know. So
on immigration, has Donald Trump won the argument?
Absolutely not. He has no.
Yes, he has. Yeah, I thought she was legitimately going to say absolutely. Yes, he has.
He literally stood in the way of what was at hand, a bipartisan bill, including some of the most conservative members of the United States.
He wasn't even in power. He wasn't in the House. He wasn't in the Senate. He wasn't in the White House. You, on the other hand, Kamala Harris, you had the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. And so how are you going to blame this on Trump that your stupid little amnesty bill didn't get passed? Give me a break.
United States Congress that would have put 1,500 more border agents at the border to help those border agents who are working around the clock. It would have allowed us to have the resources to stem the flow of fentanyl, which is killing people in America. And he stood in the way of that progress. So, you know, he talks a big talk, but when it comes to actually putting in place solutions, he falls quite short.
So,
no, he doesn't fall short on solutions. He secured the border. Dude, are you kidding me? Should we watch this entire Kamala Harris interview? Man, dude, Rob is killing it on YouTube. He's got 250 viewers on YouTube. Good for Rob, man. I'm so happy for him. That's why I sometimes wonder if I should stream on YouTube. Here I am just putting up clips on YouTube. I'm like more obsessed with you. I don't know, though. I don't know. I don't know why I don't. What was I just going to look for? Oh, yeah, the Kamala Harris interview. You're going virus. I'm a warehouse worker, so yeah, Trump all the way for me. Heck yeah, I think Dr. Biden was the one who said Joe had to go. Tulsi just joined the Republican Party. Yeah, isn't that awesome? What has she done in 3.5 years as VP? Nothing that Biden's allowing. You remember back in 21, Harris stated she hasn't been to Europe yet? Yes, that was ridiculous. Do both. I should. You could always try a stream. I could. I should. Maybe I'll do one of these. Maybe I'll do one of these streams on. Maybe I'll set up to start dual streaming on YouTube. Joe Rogan will break the internet on Friday with Trump. Joe's team said they made the same offer to Harris, and she said no. Are you serious, Guess? Did they really? Wait, so is Joe Rogan? He never does it live though, does he? Like the Joe Rogan Experience is not live. I'm not. X won't monetize me, Num. I've submitted on X to be monetized, and they won't respond to me or anything. They won't process my application, so I can't. I'm monetized on Twitch and monetized on YouTube, but X won't monetize me. So I'm not gonna really focus on it and spend time and energy like putting effort into it when. I couldn't even watch, dude. I couldn't watch the entire NBC News interview with Kamala Harris. Where's the Telemundo one? Well, I guess we can just watch these clips.
You might not win Congress. So how can you make sure you pass an immigration reform, a pathway to citizenship? Because Latinos have heard a lot about this for decades now. And it feels like an unfulfilled promise.
Well, there has been bipartisan support in the past. And I think this election and how Latinos vote can help pave the pathway for the solutions. Donald Trump is not.
So in other words, if you elect Democrats and if we all put Democrats in power, then yeah, we will pass amnesty for 30 million, 40 million illegal aliens in America right now. Wow. There she just said it. She just admitted it.
Not going to push for a pathway for citizenship. He did not in the past. He will not in the future.
You might not win Congress. So how can you make sure you pass?
It probably will shock Kamala Harris and the rest of her campaign staff to learn that there are...
Wait, so hold on. It's Friday for 3 hours. Right, guess. But is it live? Joe Rogan doesn't do it live, though. He, like, records it and then posts it when he's done, right? Like, they don't do it live. YouTube has had bad finding for streaming. Yeah, you're right, American Patriot. YouTube has been bad for streaming because it used to be that nobody could find you when you're live if you're on YouTube. Now they've got it different. Now it's different. Oh, Twitch is way better, Mushroom Party. I've always enjoyed Twitch more, frankly, but that's why I'm only streaming on Twitch right now. I don't stream on YouTube.
Incumbent Democrats. It probably will shock Kamala Harris and the rest of her campaign staff to learn that there are incumbent Democrat U.S. senators in this country right now running television ads touting all their work with this modern-day Hitler. I wonder if Kamala Harris tonight in our town hall meeting will call for them to take these ads off the air, touting their work with this Hitler. I mean, if he were really Hitler, if he were really a threat to democracy.
Yeah, they do, Detoxy, and so does YouTube. Hydra's in the house. What up, Hydra? Welcome, Tulsi, to the party. Glad to have her as... Oh, for sure, Hydra. Yep, welcome.
Democracy. Not a single Democrat in this country would be running ads touting their work with Donald Trump. Now,
wow, great point. That's amazing that that's said on that even on CNN. Wow.
What do you expect?
Telemundo. I kind of want to see this whole Telemundo. Oh, here it is.
Vice President Kamala Harris, thank you so much for your time.
It's good to see you again. Thank you.
I'm glad we're doing this because I think this is a very important conversation for Latino voters.
Yes.
More than 36 million are eligible to vote. You've been talking to many of them recently. And I wonder how you feel about them. What comes to your mind? How do you prepare when you prepare a policy that the one you're announcing today, when you meet them? What comes to your mind when you think about Latinos in the United States?
A lot. I'll start with the fact that on so many of the biggest issues, we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Latinos, like everyone, care about bringing down costs of groceries, the everyday cost of life. I think of the Latino community in terms of the extraordinary ambition, the aspirations, the dreams that exist in the community, understanding it is not a monolith, but that not unlike any other community, there are dreams and hopes, but not necessarily always access to opportunity. And a lot of my agenda is about creating opportunity for people to succeed. So, for example, part of the agenda that I've rolled out that I am very aware how it would affect Latino men, for example, includes what we need to do around building a strong economy that supports working people. Understanding that, for example, small business people, small business owners don't always have access to the capital they need to grow their business or even for people to start a small business. And I know that Latino men often have a more difficult time having access to the big loans.
So this is just DEI stuff. This is just intersectionality. This is just wokeness. This is just, you know, group people up by their race, define them by their race, and then say they're discriminated against, and therefore we need racist policies. That's all this is.
The big banks because of relationships, because of things that are not necessarily grounded in their their qualification. So I'm focused on what we can do to bring more capital to community banks that will understand the community and being able to give those kinds of loans. My focus is on small businesses, understanding that right now the tax deduction for a small business is $5,000. Nobody can start a small business on $5,000. So I'm going to grow it so that it's $50,000 tax deduction to start up a small business. Home ownership. Latinos, only half of Latino households are homeowners, right? So part of my plan is to do what we can to give people the opportunity for home ownership.
I will be live Detoxy on election night, but it's going to be kind of off and on. I'm going to have to probably get up and go and do some things and then maybe be able to come back and stuff. So it's going to be off and on. I'm going to try to stream kind of throughout the day, hopefully, maybe take the day off work and stuff. But like I said, I am going to be involved in election day stuff this year again. And I've done some similar stuff in the past. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I'll mention it later, frankly, but it's not really a big deal. But I am going to be potentially busy on election day and election night, potentially.
Which is about,
but yeah, I'll be off and on all day on election day.
Building intergenerational wealth. So my plan includes...
Boy, this is just brutal, man. This is just horrible. I can't deal. We'll just do clips.
People who know him best, who have worked to defend the security and the principles of the Constitution of the United States, have called him unfit and a danger to our country.
Ooh, scary. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kamala, as if you care about the Constitution. Give me a break.
Initially, when we first spoke, he did mention that this was going to be, again, a wrap-up of the 4-year anniversary and how we passed legislation and all the achievements that were done in Vanessa's honor. And when I came across he never, not once mentioned any of the comments that he was going to put in this article or how it was going to be published this late in the year. He said it was going to be around April and not...
I should be here. No, Hydra, I should be here almost all election night. It might be, though, that, like, I might have to get up and run. It's not going to be a for sure thing. I should be able to be here most of the day on election day. I'm going to have to do some things, but I'll be here. Here's the other thing, Hydra. Like, I'll be able to stream for most of the early part, and I anticipate... Here, it's going to go one of two ways, Hydra. Okay, it's going to go one of two ways. Number one, one way that election night can go is the result, the exit polls, and the early results and the early reporting could be so like and so in favor of Trump that basically everybody kind of has to admit that Trump won this thing, even though like Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin like aren't going to be 100% done counting votes for another week. Like they maybe I'll just call it and say, look, he's so far ahead. And when we look at everything else and look at the results from these other states that are 100% reporting, and then you look at what reports still have to come in from this place and blah, 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 blah. And they look at it, it's just like, no, it's obvious, like Trump won. And so we may be celebrating a Trump victory very early. You know what I mean, Hydra? Like we could be, this is very unlikely, I would say. More likely probably is that it gets drug out and we end up streaming all night long, Hydra. I may have to get up and run and go do something at like midnight or like 10 p.m. or something. And then come back, but we may be streaming all night. We may not have and here's the deal, right? We better be streaming all night. We all need to be staying up all night so we don't get any more of these 3:30 a.m. ballot drops, right? So, but the reality is I think I think that election night is like kind of like not even election night anymore. If we're not gonna find out about who's the president for another week, if we're not going to actually get results for another, day. Michigan, and Wisconsin, I think, said we're not going to even report results until Wednesday, like the next day, like the next evening, Wednesday evening. So it's like, who cares about election night stream at that point? It's like, dude, we're not even going to get results election night anymore. Dude, all of these states have already come out and said, we are not going to have results election night. They've already come out and said, there will not be final election results on election night, period. They've come out and said that. And so we're not going to have final results on election night, period. So at that point, why does it matter streaming on election night? You know what I mean? If we're not even going to get results. I took the day and the day after election day off. Oh, nice, Hydra. That's awesome. Good for you, man. I asked for election day off. I was turned down, so I might have a magic cause of Biden flu and cold. It sucks to have to work on election day because election day is so exciting because there's so much reporting going on and you see there's so many like news videos being posted online and
I never saw the article. I didn't follow up, and it was surprising enough to see how he reached out to Natalie shortly about, 2 days ago, just wanting to confirm what was said. And I released a statement to him, letting him know that I was not happy about what he was going to release, and I did not wish to be a part of it anymore or have my sister's name be a part of that article. And he still proceeded to not only publish it, but basically stain my sister's image with this, and it's very upsetting.
Wow, dude. Slain soldier Vanessa Guillen's family speaks out about the fake news. Holy cow, bro. That's horrible.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for having us. And initially, the first time around, I came with my own eyes to see the comments that that reporter was vile enough to put in that paper. It was just hurtful in all kinds of ways. It brought back so many bad memories that we had given up already after 4 long years, and it was just a slap in the face to my family, myself mainly, being the main spokesperson for them and for my sister who unfortunately passed away. It was just a lie from the very beginning, and it was very upsetting. Hi, Laura.
Wow, dude. Straight up lying. Straight up lying. Have you voted yet? Yes, I have voted. I voted over a week and a half ago. Actually, I've been meaning to go online and double check that they got my ballot.
Name 3 things in your night table. Your night side table.
Well, let's see. What's on my night side? I've been staying at hotels for the last 11. I've been literally on the road. This is my first day home in almost a week and a half.
Name 3 things in your night.
So in other words, she can't name 3 things in her nightstand? That's easy as hell to do, dude. Anybody can do that. I can tell you. 3 things in my nightstand. A Smith & Wesson 40. A box of a box of 40 ammo. Baby powder. And tissues. It's like, they're saying hard, lady. Why baby powder? I think I like to use baby powder sometimes to prevent chafing on your thighs. I don't know if you've ever experienced chafing on your thighs, but it can suck. But baby powder pretty much makes it not a problem. I use it once every 6 months type of thing. Very rare. Usually when I'm going on a long, usually after I've gone on a long walk or hike or something. Harris has the baby oil she got from the Diddy party she went to with... I'm sure.
Laura, one of the things is, too, just laying down the groundwork here. When President Trump invited us to the Oval Office, he was gracious with his family. He didn't have to do that. There was many people out there, missing from Fort Hood that died of Fort Hood, but he opened his doors up to this Mexican-American family. And he was gracious to them, and he gave them a lot of time. And when President Biden came into office, he did not invite this family. I'm not going to go into details, but we didn't have the same courtesy, the same respect, the same support that we saw with President Trump in the White House. And I know, and everyone knows, that President Trump is very supportive of our military. So this piece, I can't even call it a story, this piece, leave it there, was full of lies. I myself spoke to him, and I told him certain things. For a matter of fact, I said I could not speak about the issue, about these things and about these things. And then he says, Natalie Quam said this. And that was not true. I mean, that's what really bothers me. I've worked with both sides of the aisle, with producers and reporters and the media for years, both sides of the aisle. I've never had to deal with somebody that just went that low, below the belt, just to get a story out. And it was, quite honestly, it was wrong, and it was unethical. And I had to take on that position of, I'm going to call him out. And I appreciate honest reporting, and this is honest reporting, when you can put us on the record, when you can have us talk, and you don't have to say things that we didn't say. So thank you, Laura, for doing a good, honest piece here.
That's amazing that this entire story about Trump was completely made up, and they literally just falsely quoted the people. Unbelievable. Everything in the media right now about Trump is fake and false.
And I'd like to begin by asking a very simple question. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago?
I also believe in what we need to do as a new approach that understands, for example...
Yes, Num. Yeah, me too, because let's see, 4 years ago, I did not. 4 years ago, Num. Here for me, Num. 4 years ago, I was not a partner. I was not a partner at the law firm 4 years ago. I did not own a home 4 years ago. So yeah, I mean, my income was lower 4 years ago. I had fewer followers on Twitch and YouTube 4 years ago. I was not monetized on YouTube 4 years ago. So yeah, in my personal life, I'm actually quite a bit better off than I was 4 years ago as well.
Example, that some of the best jobs that we have available don't necessarily require a college degree. So as vice president, part of my plan includes understanding that skills and experience should be as important as a college degree in determining who is a qualified worker to take on a job. And so let me tell you. So for example, my approach is to say that we should examine the jobs within the federal government to reassess which ones don't require a college degree, and then I will challenge the private sector to do the same.
This is so bad. All right, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. I haven't done this in a long time. Let's actually go to Real Clear Politics and see these articles. First of all, let's check the averages. Wow, dude. Top battlegrounds. Trump is up 0.8 now in the top battlegrounds, up in every single one of them. Holy cow. Wow, he is actually up 1, though. So Harris has come back a little bit on that. The betting averages, Trump is still way up. Senate, no toss-up is GOP +2. No toss-up map for the Senate is GOP 51. Are you kidding me, dude? Hold on. Come on. No possible way, dude. I thought the Republican senators in... Who's the Republican Senate candidate in Nevada? Brown versus Rosen. I don't know who either of these people are. Oh, Sam Brown. I do know who that is. I don't know who this lady is. Wisconsin is... Who's Wisconsin? Hovde versus Baldwin. Wow, that one's closing. Wow. What's Michigan? Rogers versus Slotkin. Brown versus Moreno. McCormick versus Casey. That's tightening. That's tightening. Wow. So it looks like the Republicans are likely to pick up, though, West Virginia and Montana, which means we retake the Senate. I think Republicans can pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think Republicans can pick up some more of these, though. Things are looking good in the House. RCP electoral. Trump Vance Trump Vance start out ahead of Kamala. That's amazing, dude. So it starts out. So the entire thing starts out before any swing states. It's 219 to 215. Trump ahead. So Trump starts out ahead going into this election. That's amazing to think about, right? Holy cow. Oh shoot, did I lose my Trump vid? Trump is still live.
Now let me see your warfare. Bullshit. You didn't convince me. Let me see your real warfare. You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war. But until that day, you are huge. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.
How to abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers, so wait.
It looks to me like the best part of you ran down and cracked your mama's ass and ended up with the brown stain on the mattress. I love working for Uncle Sam. I love working for Uncle Sam. Let me know just who I am. Let me know just who I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, United States.
Thank you very much. So with your vote this November, we're going to fire Kamala Harris, and we are going to save our country. We're going to save America. With your support, we will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to the state of Georgia. They're coming back. And it won't even take long. We will build American, we will buy American, and we will hire American. I will end the war in Ukraine. It should have never started. I will stop the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent World War III from happening. We were never closer than we are right now. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a massive missile defense shield over our country, all made in the USA. Why shouldn't we have one? And we will land an American astronaut on Mars in a very short period of time. We will rebuild our cities, including our capital in Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. We will keep men out of women's sports. I will defend religious liberty. I will restore free speech. And I will defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment. After years of building up foreign nations, defending foreign borders, and protecting foreign lands, we are finally going to build up our country, defend our borders, and protect our citizens. And we will stop illegal immigration once and for all. It will be ended. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is too big to rig. Early voting is underway. You get everyone you know. Tell your husband, Harry, get out of that sofa, Harry, get out. Turn that damn football game off, Harry. You're going to vote, Harry. After all we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. That's what we're going to have. With your help, from now until Election Day, we will redeem America's promise. We will put America first, and we will take back the nation that we all so love. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in, we will never give up, and we will never, ever back down, and we will never, ever surrender. And together we will fight, 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 and win, win, win. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. You will be so proud of your vote when you look back in 25 years, 50 years, a long time. You're going to be so proud. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Georgia. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Oh, the YouTube shorts are popping off. Look at that. 6,800 views. What's up? Oh, man. Oh, wow. That's hilarious. Obama saying he misses being president when we'll be someday again. 4,500 views. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
I understand, based on work I have done for you.
Whoa, sorry. Let me catch up on chat. Sorry, guys. Am I way behind on chat? Attack Lizard, what's up? Early voting, 53% for Dems, 30% in favor of Republicans. Doesn't sound good. In Michigan. That doesn't sound good. But comparatively, it might be way better. Tammy Baldwin. Don't know much about her. Brown v. Moreno is going to be tight. Brown has a lot of fans in Cleveland, I'm sure. Scotty, what's up, Scotty? Plus, Tammy voted for massive bailout and contracts for her girlfriend's company. Of course. Of course. Also, all of Brown's ads are like, I'm not too Democrat. Oh, Scotty. 8K on Twitch, it looks like. Yeah, Scotty. No, Scotty, that's exactly how John Tester is running in Montana. So it sounds like Democrats in Ohio, Democrats in Montana, they're all running and basically saying we're Republicans, we're not real Democrats, we're not progressives, we don't agree with the Democrats. Yeah, that's how Democrats have to run to be elected, is they have to run and pretend they're not Democrats and pretend to be conservatives and Republicans, basically.
For years, the importance of having a secure border. And the work that I will do as President of the United States is to always ensure that we have a secure border and that we have a humane and orderly immigration system. I understand, based on work I have done for years, the importance of having a secure border. And the work
lecture with the CCP iPhone. Oh, could you see my screen as I was walking by? Guest. Could you see my phone screen? Because I was looking at it as I was walking by and I was walking the other way. That's hilarious. Lecture with the CCP iPhone. Bad lecture. I know. I kind of want to go with like a, what do you have? Guess. Stanley Kubrick's daughter, who runs his state, is allowing Trump to use the footage from Full Metal Jacket, saying he was a strong member of Reagan and he would want to end all useless wars that enrich the military-industrial complex. Heck yeah.
That I will do as President of the United States is to always ensure that we have a secure border and that we have a humane and orderly immigration system.
BS, lady. Who believes that she's going to secure the border? I can't just sit here and just look at just lie after lie after lie after lie after lie.
Dagon, what do you say?
Hey, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me. Look, I was president of the staff of the Department of Defense, and what I saw was a man withdraw out of multiple theaters of conflict. What I saw was a commander-in-chief who brought home over 50 hostages and detainees from around the world. That's more than every president before him combined. What I saw was a man attend almost every single dignified transfer of the fallen and spend countless hours with the families of the fallen, giving them the love and care that they need, and most importantly, securing the financial assistance that they need. I saw this man host these individuals and their families in the Oval Office. I saw him prioritize our veterans and our uniformed military members to make sure they had the weapons that they needed and the munitions that they needed, especially if you were going to send them overseas to fight another man's war. And I saw, most importantly, more than anything, invoke the Constitution when it came to the National Command Authority and execute the mission, the no-fail mission of the United States of America and the Department of Defense to secure our freedom. So they can print whatever they want, and we could talk about the Vanessa Guillen story. I was there as his chief of staff at the Department of Defense for that one, but I saw a man as a commander-in-chief and President Donald Trump who fought our veterans and uniforms of the military. And
I don't know how they deal with that audio issue.
Did he run this country as a dictator the 4 years he was in? Absolutely not. No wars. The economy was absolutely incredible. Everybody's making money. He wasn't a dictator then. Why should you be a dictator now? Did he run?
Well said, lady. Well said. Common sense. Why doesn't the media or the Democrats have any common sense like that?
Let's listen. So yesterday we learned that Donald Trump's former chief of staff, John Kelly, a retired four-star general, confirmed that while Donald Trump was president, he said he wanted
Oh, I would assume so, Nom. Yeah, I would assume Vivek will absolutely have a position in. Well, and when you say in Trump's cabinet, it's like, okay, what, there's 15 of those people? So, Num, are you really, when you say in Trump's cabinet, you're really talking about the cabinet. You're not talking about just the administration in general or some policy advisor position or something like that. You know, you're talking about actual in the cabinet.
generals like Adolf Hitler had. Donald Trump said that because he does not want a military.
Or admin, whatever. Okay. I mean, because the cabinet is its own, like, let's see, what is the president's cabinet? President Biden's cabinet includes Kamala Harris and the heads of the 15 departments. Secretaries of Ag, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, Housing and Urban. Dude, we should list these off, and let's create a Trump administration. You guys read that? Here, let's create Trump's cabinet, and then we can answer the question. We have to figure out who's going to be Secretary of State. That's the most important. The Attorney General is important. State is probably the most important. Maybe Tulsi? No. Who's got really good foreign policy? Bluesy with the raid. Thank you, Bluesy. Appreciate the raid. Appreciate the raid, Bluesy. Let's start with Secretary of State. Who would be Secretary of State in the Trump administration? That is a lot of cabinets. It's 15. Rubio. I could see either Tulsi or Rubio. I kind of think I could see Rubio. I mean, I kind of want to. I'd kind of like to steer away from just choosing like senators, though, and representatives, because like Donald Trump could choose somebody else too, right? Like Donald Trump could go out of pocket. Not that's not the right phrase. Could go. He could pick somebody like Tucker Carlson. Like, I mean, he's not going to pick Tucker Carlson for Secretary of State. It won't be like Mike Pompeo. I don't know. It's so freaking weird because everybody from the first Trump administration is like hated now by MAGA world and everybody views Trump as like an isolationist, but yet he had like the most war hawk people like Mike Pompeo and John Bolton in his administration. So it's like, you never know with Trump. Trump might pick somebody who he like completely disagrees with on foreign policy. Bring Kayleigh back. I agree. Bring Kayleigh McEnany back as press secretary. Holy cow. I agree. She was so good. She was so good. True, Phoenix. True, Phoenix. I don't know, man. This is too hard. Secretary of Defense. I don't know, man. This would be so freaking hard to do if you were actually the president. I can't believe this, dude. This is insane to see. Here's the RCP no toss-ups. Here's the RCP no toss-ups, guys. October 23rd, 2024. Trump Vance 312, Harris Walz 226. Donald Trump winning all of the blue wall states, plus picking up Nevada and Arizona, plus picking up North Carolina and Georgia. Mad Dog Mattis. There you go, PM. Yeah, let's get Mad Dog Mattis back in the cabinet. Yeah, isn't that insane, Num? Yo, Zork. What's up, Zork? Something Trump said the other day that he learned from first term was not to pick people from the swamp to help drain the swamp. Fingers crossed. Right. So you don't really want to pick senators because they're like swamp creatures, most of them. Most of the senators and congressmen are all swamp creatures, so you really don't want to pick from them. No way that Michigan and Wisconsin will go red. Are you kidding me, Num? Like, the Kamala Harris campaign is even written off Michigan. Even the Kamala Harris campaign is totally written off Michigan. Donald Trump, let's see how much Donald Trump is up in Michigan. I don't know why this website's like... really not working. Why young men are flocking to Trump over Harris. Oh, do we really need... I'll give 5 subs if Michigan goes red. Okay. Awesome, Num. Fantastic. Sweet. I'll be looking forward to when they call Michigan. Let's see. Let's go to the... Yeah, here we go. Michigan, Trump versus Harris. Trump is up 0.2. What's so Num? But check this out, Num. Okay, so think about this. In 2020 in Michigan, at this point, Biden was up 8. You realize what happened in Michigan? The results in Michigan were 50%, you could say, if you wanted to round up, 51% to 48%. So that was within 3 points. Okay, so in other words, the polling error was 5 points off in against Trump. Okay, in 2020, the Michigan polling of polls RCP averages was 5 points off against Trump. Okay, right now it's got Trump up, and so if it's 5 points off again, then Trump wins by 5 points, which would be a blowout, which would be basically a landslide. So, plus, what have you seen the betting odds? Michigan. Do they not have the betting odds on here? No, they just have like total. What are the betting odds saying? Let's just go to polymarket.com and see. Trump at 61%, Kamala Harris at 31%. Search market, Michigan presidential election winner, Republican 55%, Democrat 46%. So Num, what the heck? Oh, I just freaking lost. So Num, you're so confident, there's no possible way that Michigan can go red, even though Donald Trump is leading in the polls when usually the polls are disfavoring Trump by 5 and are off by 5 and disfavoring Trump. And also the Republican is leading in the betting markets 55% to 45%. And you still think there's no way Trump wins Michigan. Like what? Too big to rig. Yeah. Yeah, I bet it will go D+1. Okay. So wait, so Num, are you anticipating Kamala Harris wins though, then completely? You're predicting a Kamala Harris win? Well, they said 2020 was close, but it was actually 3% in Michigan, which is really not even that close. Crazy, man. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's tight. It's definitely tight right now. I feel good about the situation. What's this? USA Today, even USA Today saying, why are young men flocking? Trump is leading among men 53% to 37%. Vice President Harris's lead with women is 53 to 36. Kind of stupid. USA Today, kind of stupid. Just how big is the gender gap this year?
How big is the gender gap this year? Welcome to the Real Clear Quick Take. Since 1996, women have made up 52.6% of the voting population on average, while men have represented 47.4% of the electorate. Only once during that span have both men and women voted for the same party for president. In 2008, men favored Barack Obama over John McCain by 1 point, while women chose Obama by 13 points. On average, since 1996, men have voted for the Republican candidate for president by 6.9%, while women have voted for the Democrat by 10.3%. The difference between men's and women's voting patterns is known as the gender gap, and it figures prominently again in this year's election. A recent NBC News poll pegged it at 30 points. Donald Trump leading men by 16, and Kamala Harris leading women by 14. An average of the most recent national polls shows the gender gap registering at 18.8%. That's almost 6 points higher than it was in 2020, but 6 points lower than the 24-point gender gap between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. Get all the latest polls at realclearpolling.com.
Well, isn't that interesting? To be honest, I have no idea. I like making things interesting. Okay, nice. No, I'm good. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting if we got 5 sub-gifts on the line. Let's go. A lot of Dems jumping ship. Exactly, Bluesy. I see a surprising amount of Trump signs in my deep blue Northern Virginia city. Is that right? That is surprising, Num. Not this woman. I'm a Trump girl. Good, Bluesy. Good. How will the winner of this election impact how Christians behave? LCTRfan, I mean, like, what would be the difference in how we are impacted and what would we have to do different? Oh, man, that's a good question. Matt, C4V4. I think it's going to be a big difference, Matt. I think if Kamala Harris wins, I think you're going to see a massive uptick in persecution of Christians, discrimination and mistreatment of Christians, woke ideology, censoring and putting down Christians, elimination of God and Christianity from all elements of life, etc., etc. With Trump, you won't see that. Harris has 2 weeks to turn it around. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Harris has 2 weeks to turn it around. The joy phase has passed. Now she's focusing on the dangers of Trump. The Trump-Harris campaign has gone through 2 phases. The first, which began when Biden dropped his reelect. Harris' campaign ignited like a rocket. She surged into a lead nationally and in several swing states, while Trump stagnated. In the second, which began around Labor Day, Harris's support plateaued while Trump's rose, cutting the VP's national lead by half and erasing it in most swing states in Arizona and Georgia. The former prez has gained a modest but widening lead, rendering him increasingly out of reach if the current trend continues. Third and final stage has now begun. Both campaigns have tested their strengths and vulnerabilities. as well as their most effective arguments. Despite Trump's frequent ramblings, his campaign has stayed focused on his most persuasive issues, high prices and immigration, in addition to attacking Harris for once saying she supports taxpayer-funded transgender surgeries for prisoners and migrants. Not just prisoners and migrants. No, illegal aliens who are like murderers and rapists who are in prison for both being an illegal alien and being a criminal, on top of the crime of what they already committed crossing here. And then they want to get a transgender surgery, and Kamala Harris wants to use my money to pay for it. Yeah, no thanks. Miss Harris has portrayed herself as a center-left leader in the mold of Obama or Biden rather than the late Jeane Kirkpatrick, once famously labeled a San Francisco Democrat. Trump's ads on the trans issue represent an effort to pin the VP to her more left-leaning past, as have his attacks on her now abandoned advocacy of decriminalizing illegal border crossings. Miss Harris is focused on abortion, the issue that produced Democrat gains in 2022 after the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade. Although Miss Harris has avoided the breaking the glass ceiling rhetoric Hillary Clinton employed in 2016, her campaign has generated a comparably massive gender gap. History may regard 24 as a peak for gender politics. Trump's all-out appeal to a controversial model of masculinity that emphasizes toughness and strength is mobilizing hard-to-reach men, including members of racial and ethnic minorities. The prospect obviously worried the Harris campaign, which rushed out an agenda for black men. How pathetic, dude. Give me a break. If you're like, it's like, wow, Donald Trump is pushing a very tough and masculine campaign that lots of men really like. And so Kamala Harris put out a plan for black men. How just degrading and just like, no thanks. Golly. Wow, number one most popular news story right now on Wall Street Journal. Number one news story on Wall Street Journal. Democrats are growing more anxious over deadlocked race. The secretive billionaire network funding stopped the Steal 2.0, the $250 billion rush to get money out of China. Applications to MBA programs soar. Home sales on track for worst year since 95. Wow. Most people have taken Trump's measure for good or ill. By contrast, many Americans remain unsure who Harris is and what she stands for. To some extent, this is inevitable. VPs are supposed to remain in the president's shadow, emerging only during a long primary campaign if they seek promotion. The unprecedented circumstances that led to Harris. Whoa!
Concentration camps on our
Breaking faking news. VP Harris says the term abortion has a negative stigma and she wants to rebrand it as non-consensual assisted suicide. Holy cow, Fatormophitis with 300 bits coming in hot. Thank you, Fatormophitis, my man. Good to see you. Welcome back. How you doing? There were sensible reasons why Miss Harris refused to break cleanly with either her past or her president. On November 5th, we'll find out whether the benefits of that decision outweighed the costs. Hold on, what? Miss Harris has contributed to the public's lack of clarity about her political identity. She elected not to explain why she abandoned many of the positions she espoused during her first run for the Dem nomination, or to specify any of Biden's decisions she would have done differently, even the withdrawal from Afghanistan or the border policies of the administration's first 3 years. Previous vice presidents have made a different choice. Running to succeed Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush promised a kinder, gentler nation. Nancy Reagan was said to have asked kinder and gentler than what? Running to succeed another successful two-term president, Al Gore abandoned Bill Clinton's soothing centrism in favor of a harder-edged populist conflict between the people and the powerful. Hubert Humphrey nearly came from behind to beat Richard Nixon after distancing himself from Lyndon Johnson on the Vietnam War. Wow, man. Look at this. Democrats are growing more anxious over deadlocked race. Harris's inability to establish... Whoa!
Concentration camps on our southern
Boom, baby. Audi Glaze dropping 300. Thank you. Almost getting a hype train. Let's go. Thank you, Audi Glaze. Good to see you, man. Welcome in. Holy cow. Almost starting a hype train. USA, USA, USA. When Trump wins, I expect Harris to sue every swing state that went red. We thought 2020 was going to be insane. She will not take a loss easy. Her ego won't allow her. Oh, man, it's going to be bad. I really do think it's going to be bad, guys. I do think that Kamala Harris and the Democrats will challenge the election results. I do think that they'll try to pull shenanigans with faithless electors in the Electoral College, and they'll try to pull shenanigans on January 6th. I guarantee it. Kamala Harris calls herself the underdog against Trump, making the argument as an old ploy to motivate voters. But with 2 weeks until Election Day, the VP's top advisors and allies are worrying it might be true. Harris has struggled to nail down support from key voting blocs in the Democrat coalition, has left her team unsettled, according to interviews with aides and advisors. She enjoys strong rapport with women, but she has a clear problem with men, including black men and white working class men. She has failed to shore up support among Michigan's Arab Americans who have been frustrated with the Biden's handling of the widening conflict in the Mideast. People were feeling better 3 weeks ago. It was always going to be a close race, and Democrats are given to 11th hour panic. Some Dems say the memories of the 2016 campaign when a confident Clinton lost to Trump loom over the race's race. And activists are determined to avoid the same outcome. This feels exactly like Trump. Whoa!
concentration camps on our southern border.
Boom!
And
thank you, Num. 300 bits starting the hype train.
they are concentration camps.
Yo, Sussy, that's exactly what I was just saying. 2016 all over again. Yeah, although this time it's not so predicted that Trump is going to lose. Thank you, Num. Appreciate that, Num. Got the hype train started. 56%. Level 1 hype train. 4 minutes left. Let's go. Harris campaign advisors say they're clear-eyed about the challenges during a recent call with staff. Campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon said this is not going to be a race where one day we wake up and the sun shines and the clouds part. We've won by 5 points. It's not that kind of race. It is tight, and we're going to just keep driving. O'Malley Dillon told staff internal data shows Harris is winning and would stay ahead, but it is by the skin of our teeth. It's going to take all of us together. Polling shows a deadlocked race, but Harris advisors say they have an edge over Trump by virtue of campaign infrastructure that will turn out her vote, including door knocking, data collection, and millions of dollars in targeted advertising. The campaign sought to fortify the blue wall states of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Fortify? She thought to fortify the blue wall states of Michigan. Remember what happened when the last time the media said they fortified an election? Boy, that's going to get demonetized. How much you want to bet that one? That little clip gets demonetized on YouTube. Turns out the war on toxic masculinity doesn't play well with men. Correct, Sussy. Yep. Underdog Mike, she's current in office, has had almost 4 years to prove her being the next prez. In the same 4 years, Trump has endured hell from Dems, throwing everything at him when he dips, ducks, dodges, and dives at all, punching back at everything. Trump is the underdog. Oh, for sure. I agree. If Kamala Harris considers Trump a fascist, will she peacefully transfer power? Are you serious, Matt C? Holy cow! 7,777 bits coming in hot. Matt C, thank you so much, man. Boom, all the way to a level 5 hype train. Matt C, thank you so much, my man. Man, Matt C, I don't know. I feel like I owe you a better answer to your question previously about how Christians are going to be dealing with depending on this election results. It's going to be bad, man. It's pretty bad already. It's very difficult to be in our society, in a fallen society like we have, in a corrupted, sickened society. You know what I mean? It's already very difficult to be a Christian. Wow. Unlock a random emote, my thing says. Level 5 hype train. That's amazing, man. 29%. Level 5 hype train. Public polling shows the race essentially tied in the 3 states, with survey averages shifting a point or two. They're trying to capitalize on Harris's advantage, with women hoping to drive up turnout among white women who are concerned about abortion rights. That's the Harris campaign. Abortion, abortion, abortion. My goodness.
The United States is running concentration camps on our southern border.
Holy cow!
And that is exactly
Fighter Killer dropping 300 bits. Holy smokes. Thank you, Fighter Killer. Wow, you guys, I was not expecting a hype train tonight. Was absolutely not expecting a hype train. Certainly not this massive. Thank you, Fighter Killer. The apostles were killed but live forever. Amen, Matt. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. The VP plans to bring the issue to the forefront with the rally Friday in Texas, where nearly all abortions are banned after 6 weeks. They're still making a play for men, releasing policy plans aimed at black and Latino men and going on podcasts and shows geared at men. What, like The View? On Monday, Harris did events alongside Dick Cheney, aimed at connecting women and undecided voters who have raised concerns about abortion rights and the erosion of democratic principles. The Harris campaign is hoping to peel off more Republicans and independents to help declining support among voting blocs, including men. We're absolutely aware that Michigan is close. We're very confident in our infrastructure, our ability to get this over the finish line. Man, this is actually making me more nervous. Actually, reading this article about how Democrats are getting really anxious is actually making me more nervous about. I didn't realize it was this close. I thought Trump was kind of like more ahead than this. Harris will be in suburban Philly on Wednesday for a CNN town hall. Some Dems in PA have sounded alarms. The Cook Political Report recently moved the race between Bob Casey and Dave McCormick to toss-up. The Michigan and Wisconsin Senate races are also in that category. Some in the party privately criticized Harris's Pennsylvania campaign manager, with top state Dems complaining to the campaign leadership about her management. One state Dem cited a number of concerns, including a delay in getting yard signs for voters, limited communication with key state leaders and surrogates. Whoa, Bluesy! Wow, Bluesy, thank you. Holy cow. 1 minute left.
They are concentration camps.
Thank you, Bluesy. Wow, dropping 100 bits. Boom, get it going. Holy cow. Level 5 hype train. 1 minute left, guys. That's awesome. The Harris campaign spokesperson noted that former Obama advisor. Nice. Not sure what this means. Nice, Matt. No, now you have to. Okay, you earned the badge, Matt. Now you have to like make sure that it appears in by your name when you type into chat. So like type into chat now and let's see if you've got a badge. You should have a badge next to your name in the chat. The Dems have managed to turn women against me. Good job, Dems. Oh, against men. Right.
Better than anybody else. And you don't know my state. My state was a slave state. My state is a border state. My state is the 8th largest black population in the country. My state is anything from a northeast liberal state.
Yo! PM dropping the 55 bits to get the good one. Christ is King. Amen, Matt. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you, guys. Thank you, PM. I actually like the 55-bit notification better than the 100-bit noti. Boom, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You guys are awesome. To focus on get out the vote efforts, working with Lou and 2 other senior advisors, campaign manager Julie Chavez Rodriguez said the campaign is running the largest, most sophisticated operation in Pennsylvania history, stressing they have 50 offices and 400 staff on the ground. Trump's campaign has aired ads criticizing Harris for past comments about taxpayer-funded surgeries for transgender prisoners, which some Democrats have acknowledged have been effective. Republicans also see Trump's advantage over Harris on the economy as an asset. The former president is continuing to reach out to male voters, including plans to appear on Rogan's podcast privately. The Harris campaign remains confident in its approach to the 7 major battleground states. O'Malley Dillon said the campaign was well positioned to win if it executed on its ground game and plans during the final weeks. The Trump campaign has largely outsourced its voter outreach operation to outside groups. Really? Republicans rush to bolster Trump's ground game. Former president's campaign defends its new approach to voter outreach, but some in GOP are skeptical. Republicans in swing states are rushing to shore up their ground game in the final stretch of the campaign, fearing that Trump's outsourcing strategy has faltered and won't drive enough voters to the polls. The Trump campaign has gambled that it can have outside groups, including Turning Point Action, pay people to knock on voters' doors instead of doing much of this work in-house as in prior campaigns. That group, the organizing arm of Turning Point USA, founded by the conservative activist Charlie Kirk, has GOP operatives worried. Some Republicans in places such as Wisconsin and Arizona have said they aren't seeing Turning Point Action make much progress. An allegation the group rejects, arguing its work transcends the traditional GOP model. A GOP operative in Michigan said the Trump campaign is knocking on 1/10 of the doors it did in 2016. Though an RNC official said the campaign's efforts have yielded 5 times as many Michiganders committed to voting for Trump this year as in 2016. Trump volunteers are a different breed compared to your traditional breed of Republican volunteers. Their idea of volunteering is doing a sign waving or a boat parade. The race for president appears virtually tied, and the election could be determined by a fraction of a percentage point in states including Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. In 2016, Trump won Michigan by just over 10,000 votes out of more than 4.5 million votes cast. That's why, in addition to millions of dollars spent on advertising... Did they do a 2016 Michigan recount? Did they do a recount? They did do a recount. Wow, they did a recount of Michigan in 2016 because Trump won by only 10,000 votes. They better do a recount. Wow. In Detroit's precincts, of course, this is a story from the Detroit News and from December of 2016. Voting machines in more than 1/3 of all Detroit precincts registered more votes than they should have during last month's presidential election, according to Wayne County records prepared at the request of the Detroit News. Detailed reports from the office of Wayne County Clerk Kathy Garrett show optical scanners at 248 of the city's 662 precincts, or 37%, tabulated more ballots than the number of voters tallied by workers in the poll books. Voting irregularities in Detroit have spurred plans for an audit by Michigan Secretary of State Ruth Johnson's office, elections director, said Monday. The Detroit precincts are among those that couldn't be counted during a statewide presidential recount that began last week and ended Friday following a decision by the Michigan Supreme Court. Democrat Hillary Clinton overwhelmingly prevailed in Detroit and Wayne County, but Republican President-elect Donald Trump won Michigan by 10,700 votes. Dude, that 2016 election is such an incredible thing. That's unbelievable that 2016 happened. I'm so mad that got overshadowed by all the negatives, false attacks against Trump. But holy cow, 2016 was amazing. Oh, man. I wish I spent more time studying my Bible than I do studying politics and world affairs. Oh, I know, Matt. Me too, Matt. Actually, frick, tonight's Wednesday. I was supposed to be doing Bible study tonight. I was literally supposed to do Bible study tonight.
If it's
right, Eric. No, that's the funny thing, Eric. That's the funny thing. I am. Can you post this article in chat? Yeah, you can post an article in chat.
Wednesday, the latest bombshell less than 2 weeks to go as Donald Trump's former White House Chief of Staff, General John Kelly, goes on the record in a rare interview, calling Mr. Trump the definition of a fascist. Plus, newly unsealed intelligence revealing the potential for Russia and Iran to incite violence in the U.S. following the election as federal and local officials brace for the potential for turmoil and unrest on Election Day and beyond. And Secretary of State Antony Blinken urges Israel to end the war in Gaza as Israeli strikes pound Lebanon, killing Hezbollah's like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just so fake. I can't deal. Desperate Dems accuse Trump of praising Hitler. Maybe I should just do a gaming stream at this point. Should I just do a gaming stream at this point? Have they still not updated Armor Reforger? My goodness, man. When the heck are they going to do a freaking update to this game? Arma 3 update. Dude, I can't believe they're still putting out this many freaking updates to Arma 3, dude. Wow. I should probably dive back into. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I need to take a break, man. I should just take a break from streaming. I hate the way I always it's like I stream for 2 hours. By the time I've streamed for 2 hours, now I've got almost 30 viewers, and it's like frick. Now I'm tired. Now it's like because I can only really go for 2 or 3 hours after working all day. I was on the radio. I had to go in early this morning. I was on the radio this morning too early, so it's like frick, man. Plus I gotta wake up super early tomorrow. Wait, is Rob Noor not live anymore? Here, let's raid Dylan. We can raid Dylan Burns.
I don't really see God as the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning.
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague.
It's the freaking bat!
Jim the Rat King could be anywhere. So how in the hell do we find him?
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back!